We need to talk about the abandoned camps. These are the new structures that were just added to Minecraft in the newest snapshot. There's one for nearly every biome, and I feel the need to make a video about them because of the attention to detail they exhibit. Let me show you what I'm talking about. There are 18 biomes that these can generate in, and I've lined up one for each of them. Well, actually I made a little mistake, and there's 2 of these old growth birch forest ones. But this is the perfect opportunity to show you that there are different variants even for the same biome. This one right here looks completely different from this one. Now, that in itself isn't unique for structures in Minecraft. I'm pretty sure that's how it always is. But if we think about, for example, a desert temple, they are a lot simpler than these structures. That was a bad example. Desert temples only generate in deserts. What is a structure that actually generates throughout multiple biomes? Mine shafts. If we think about mine shafts, for example, they generate underground in different biomes, but there are no biome-specific variations. I can't think of any structure in Minecraft right now that is biome-specific and generates in all of these different biomes. Like, the desert temple only generates in the desert, of course. The jungle temple only generates in the jungle. The ocean monument only in... Well, I think the ocean monument does generate in different ocean types, but even then, I don't think it's different depending on which type of ocean it's in. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that this is the most variation we've ever seen in a structure in Minecraft. One really cool thing I want to show you is in this windswept forest abandoned camp. As you can see, this tent is damaged because a tree fell into it. And I just feel like this is such a creative way to work with the biome. Like, it's the windswept forest, there's lots of wind. The wind probably blew over the tree, which then destroyed the tent. And now you have it looking like this. Each variation uses blocks from its respective biome, like this eroded badlands camp. This is the only one that features cacti and red sand. But as you might know, the types of trees that grow in eroded badlands are oak trees, and therefore the tent is using oak fences. And you can see the same pattern in every single one of these. This one is the taiga one, and it uses spruce fences because in taigas there are spruce trees. You can also see that in some of these camps there are little patches of food growing. Here we have potatoes in a little wall, a campfire, some berries, and I will talk about these chests in a little bit. Then in the swamp you have, surprise surprise, lots of water. There is not only a water pool out here that was presumably created by the person who inhabited this camp, but there's also water that has invaded this tent because, well, it's been abandoned. I also think these vines are a really nice touch. In this sparse jungle camp, we even have a crafting table. And I also just love the look of these trees growing through the tents. I think it's so cute that a lot of these tents aren't complete anymore. They have some damage here and there, they have water leaking in, they have grass growing in there and plants, and just nature is just taking these over again. And over here in this snowy taiga one, this is just so nice. There's a hole in the tent and the snow is piling up in different layers, but you can really see how much thought went into this. This looks like it was made by a builder, not just anyone, you know? Like, they really put a lot of effort into this. And they even buried the barrel a little bit. What a nice touch. A lot of the camps, not all of them, but a lot of them have these spider webs, like you can see here in this old growth pine taiga one. Here's another one where the tent has just been completely destroyed by nature. And over here, this one is just so cute. There's a lamp left over. This side of the tent is not even attached to the fence anymore. Seems like there's also one fence post missing. So this side of the tent has definitely taken a beating. But I just think it looks so pretty now with the lamp and the flowers coming into this tent. This forest one is a bit similar. We also have a lamp here and flowers growing inside the tent. But the difference here is that this area with the campfire even has some stones left. I don't know if these were placed here by a person, or maybe they're just using some natural rocks that they put the lamp on top of. But either way, this just feels so natural. Like this is what you would actually do if you were camping in nature. You'd set up your tent, and then outside your tent you'd have a little campfire area. I love this. And then right behind it in the flower forest one, we even have a cauldron. That's really useful if you just find that in the early game. This one is the Dappled Forest Abandoned Camp. Now, this one's looking a bit more boring than the other ones, but remember, this is just one of many variants. I don't know how many there are for each biome, but I mean, let's just use a command to place down another one and just compare it. So we'll put it over here on the opposite side, / place, structure, and let's do the Dappled Forest. Oh, it spawned a little bit behind me. Hold on, is this the same? No, it's slightly different. Okay, so this one looks very similar, but these blocks are placed differently than over there. And we have 2 barrels in here instead of a chest. Let's try again. I want to see if there's maybe even a variant of the Dappled Forest Camp that comes with a tree. Oh, there it is. Oh my god, this one's really pretty. Oh, this is so pretty. I just love the new poplar trees. But look at this structure too. There's a bunch of logs. Oh my god, there's even the stumps left. I love this so much because you can just see that someone cut down these trees and just used the logs, probably as benches or something. And then this tree, this was either here already or maybe it grew afterwards. This is just raised a little bit because why not, right? We have the same functional blocks here, a barrel and a campfire. It's the same in the other two. And then we even have some leaves that are falling into this tent. This is such a pretty abandoned camp. I'm glad I tried another one. But there you see it. There's at least 3 variants. Again, I have no idea how many there are for each biome, but with 17 biomes, that's a lot of variants. That's a lot of work. I have since acquired the answer to this question, and you might want to sit down for this one. There are 10. For each biome, there is 10 different types of tents for each biome. That's insane. I feel like whoever was responsible for this at Mojang, they really poured their entire heart and soul into this. Now this Cherry Grove one features a double chest and also a cauldron. And then over here, the Birch Forest one, this one even has a fallen log inside the tent. This also definitely looks like someone placed this here. And I'm not quite sure what this is supposed to be. Maybe this used to be a water pool that has dried out. Maybe the gravel has collected in here over time. And oh, we have 4 barrels in this one. 1 in the tent and 3 outside. That's a lot of storage. It's always good to have storage. And then over here in the bamboo jungle one, you can see there's melons growing. I don't have any of it in this world, but I know for a fact that there are some abandoned camps that are also growing pumpkins. I don't know how many different types of foods you can find there, but I think it's a lot of them. Like pretty much all the plants that can be planted into farmland, I think they're all featured in some of these structures. One thing I would personally love to see is if some of this gravel, and maybe if there was some sand as well, if it was suspicious instead of just regular gravel. because I just feel like that would be so fitting. You find this abandoned camp structure. Like, I understand that this is probably supposed to be slightly more recent than the archaeology stuff, but I mean, how long really does it take for an artifact to be covered in dirt, right? Like, you could definitely do this with gravel. You could have some sherds or tools, maybe. You could just have some stuff kind of buried in the ground. I think that would be a really nice touch. And I mean, there's a chance they still add this. Mojang listened to us players asking for TNT sulfur cubes, so if they feel like enough people would like to see suspicious gravel here, then maybe they'll add it too. Now, as I said, I want to go through all of these chests and barrels and see what items we can actually get from these. I'm probably not gonna get every single item that is possible to get, but we'll probably get a good overview. Okay, so camp number 1. Let's imagine we just walked into a nice jungle biome and, oh look, an abandoned camp. Let's see what they left behind here. Ooh, we got some armor. That's always good. Flint and steel. That's also useful. And a spyglass. I don't actually know if I've ever... No, actually, I have never used this item before. I've never had this in survival, and I've never used it. This is so cool. Let's see how far we can see. Oh my god, I definitely need to use this in my forever world. How have I never tried this before? This is awesome. And then we have arrows and 2 empty maps and some cobwebs. All right, but that wasn't even all. There is another chest in the same camp. Oh, and a barrel. Oop. More empty maps. That's cool. A bundle. That's also really useful. Especially if you explore these in the early game. I feel like you can get such good loot from these structures. I genuinely love that. Shears. That's awesome. You can collect a lot of plants with that. Another flint and steel. A fishing rod. And a bow? Okay, we got arrows from the one chest and a bow from the other. That's so useful. Imagine you just spawned in the world and you find one of these, and this is the loot you get from just 2 chests. And more arrows. Perfect. Rabbit hide. I don't actually know what you can do with this, since, like, bundles, you used to make bundles with rabbit hide, right? And then they changed it to leather to make it a bit easier. I guess rabbits do. Is there anything else you can do with rabbit hide? Let me know in the comments if you have any idea, because I have no clue and I don't want to look it up right now. Okay, that was the first structure, but let's see what we can get in the other ones. Another bundle, perfect. Another rabbit hide. A wooden axe. Ooh, we get some wheat so we can make 1 bread. Another axe. Candles make sense. Not the most useful items, but actually no, it is pretty useful because it is a light source. If you haven't found any coal yet to make torches, then this could help you in your first night. Oh, and some leather and some coal. I guess I take it back because coal is a lot more useful than 1 candle, but you know, a candle is cute. And some glass bottles too. Interesting. There's 1 more barrel. Some bread. I'm probably not going to go through every single one and comment on it. I'll just continue to go through, and every time there's a new item, I'll show you guys. Oh, wow. Right away in the next camp we looked at, there's this double chest. And look at this. This is so cool. We get a copper sword, fireworks, some more armor, and even a compass, and multiple shears. And bones are also super useful. You can make bone meal out of this and immediately start a farm. This is genuinely some great loot. Ooh, this one has a saddle. Oh, and a spear. This one has a copper axe. So I guess we can get rid of this one. Oh, this one has some leads. And a bucket. Alright, I've been through them all now, and I left behind all the duplicate items that didn't stack. So if we want to get a feel for how common these items are, we need to ignore the non-stackable ones. But in terms of the stackable ones, you can kind of get a feel for it. So yeah, that is the loot you can get. I definitely need to play around with this some more. Oh, and I completely forgot to talk about the wool stairs and slabs. They're definitely a huge part of this structure. Obviously, every single tent is built out of wool stairs. They look pretty damn amazing, in my opinion. But I also want to show off real quick what else you can do with wool now. Stairs are the usual stair crafting recipe, and same with slabs. I'm so excited about this. Not necessarily for building couches. I know everyone's talking about couches, and that's amazing. But what I'm most excited about is the ability to use green and brown wool as part of the environment. Now, this is grass. It doesn't blend in that well, but if we add in some moss blocks, and we can also mix it with green carpet. So let's do this, and we can kind of transition this. Like, look at that. This is such a nice little green slope that you wouldn't be able to make with any other blocks. We have a lot of pretty blocks in Minecraft that are supposed to be parts of nature, like grass, like moss. Moss is so amazing, and I'm not just talking about myself. But we don't have moss slabs, we don't have moss stairs. And now, with the wool, you can do things like this. This is gonna come in so handy for paths, for terraforming. I'm so excited about this. If you're as excited as me about these abandoned camps, and also the dappled forest and everything else in this update, then let me know by liking this video, and a nice comment would really make my day. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss other videos like this. See you in the next one. Bye bye!